Hey everyone, welcome to another instructional video. In this video I'm going to explain how I did the background for this Venom drawing. This background is a little bit different than most of my other backgrounds. A lot of my other backgrounds are either completely solid black or a solid mid-tone color like my Rihanna background. So I'm going to show you how I added some interesting textures to this dark sky background behind Venom here. So I should say this type of background I find quite a bit easier to do than a background such as like my Rihanna background. The reason for that is because I find it a lot harder to get one very smooth mid-tone background. But with this background, you're dealing with some different patterns. So even though it looks like there's more to do, it's actually easier because you don't have to make it completely smooth. You can just add different textures where you see fit here and there, just like you see me doing. So what I'm doing here is I'm using a medium hardness makeup brush and I'm dipping it in some charcoal powder that I grinded up myself from General's 6B compressed charcoal sticks. And what I'm doing is I'm taking quite a bit of charcoal powder and dabbing it on the paper and then making little circles around that spot to blend it in with other spots on the background. And one tip I really wanted to show you guys was what I'm about to do with the tissue paper on this background. Now if you want to add some cloud texture into this darker layer of charcoal powder that you're laying down on the page, you could use a kneaded eraser and dab it to make some patterns, but I find that the kneaded eraser adds too many jagged edges and it makes very abrupt lines and almost takes off way too much charcoal off of the page. So what you're going to see me do is actually use some tissue paper and I'm going to dab it in some of the lighter spots that I want to add into the clouds. So really you can just lay the charcoal layer down like I'm doing in whatever circular patterns you want and then go in with the tissue paper in whichever way that you want and basically draw the clouds in with just the tissue paper. This is sort of a neat trick that I came up with when I was sick and tired of taking too much charcoal off the page with the kneaded eraser. And I find that charcoal is fragile enough that it just lifts off the page using a blending stump or even a tissue paper in this case. So you can see here how it's just ever so slightly lightening up and removing some of the charcoal off the background and adding a little bit of a cloud texture to the sky. This is actually one of the ways why some of my drawings can take less time than you would expect, because instead of drawing this whole background in manually, you can just take 30 minutes to lay on some charcoal powder onto the background, and then take 5 to 10 minutes to add the clouds in with the tissue paper. So it's a really big shortcut. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. This was just a quick video. I'm going to be putting out another video on how I'm doing the teeth soon, in a couple days. So thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned. Happy drawing, everyone.